Hey, it's Danny from Carp Global in Preston. In this video, I want to share with you real quick one of the most exciting different bits of kit that's come on the market recently. This is the Spider Spod from Wolf. And if you don't know Wolf, Wolf has been recently born and their hashtag is that they're coming to get you. Wolf is a collaboration between, if you remember Fox, and the guy who created Fox, I know he's sold it since then, but he had a son called Richard, and Richard has decided to create Wolf, right? So if you don't know about these guys, they've got a range of rods, they've got alarms coming out, and they've just introduced this, which is like super cool. This is the Spider Spod from Wolf. Now, it's unlike any other Spod you may have seen on the market, and I want to share with you in like 2 minutes the reason why you need to buy this. Now, you probably need a new Spod if you've not already cast your old one into a tree, or it's sank in a lake, or it's broke, or the spring or whatever is ruined, right? So if you're looking for a Spod, which I know like 60% of you probably are, and if you're like me, you sort of have like 6 of these things in your bag just in case, this is the Spod for you. Now, what makes this different to the other bait missiles or bait rockets on the market, without saying anybody's names? There are quite a few differences, right? And this is like probably the most exciting. How much excitement can you get around the Spod, right? But if you're a carp angler, you'd be super excited about this. So I'm not going to use this one, which has got the tag on. Here's one we prepared earlier where we've taken off the tag. It's got this nice little recess. I don't know if you guys can see this at the bottom, the little hole basically to put your Spod on your line or your shock leader. Now, a good tip when you're sort of setting up your Spod rod is, you know, instead of sort of tying your Spod to the end of your shock leader, just make a big loop in the shock leader, and then you can thread the loop through the eye and then the Spod back through the loop, and it'll just sort of loop itself on. That means if you need to swap for a marker floor, or you just want to change for a lead to have a feel around the swim, or whatever you need to do just to get your distance and then go to your wraps, it sort of makes sense. So just a big loop that on, thread it through the eye in the Spod, and then stick the Spod back through the loop, and it'll just be attached, right? So it's super easy attachment. When you put this on to your Spod rod, straight away you're going to think, oh, it just looks like any other Spod, but that's about as far as the similarities go, right? It opens, this is like super big, you see the black bit, this is like real super cool. It opens in 4 sections. So let me open it in 2, and you see like that, but then you sort of see how it opens in 4. There's a lot of method in this madness, right? And you think, oh my God, that's awesome to start with, right? The idea behind this is when it hits the water, you're more chance of everything opening. Does that make sense? And you'll know what I mean if you're forever reeling back in another manufacturer's device full of bait. This has got a far more chance of the bait hitting the bottom of the lake once you Spod, rather than being pulled back several feet, because it opens in 4 ways. You see where I'm going with this? Right, inside you'll see the actual mechanism that unlocks the Spod on impact, and I don't know if you can hear this actually clicking back together, and I'm not even touching it hardly. It's got magnets in it, and the magnets ensure that it doesn't sort of, have you ever sort of like just started the cast and the Spod opens? That's not what we want to achieve, right? Because then you've kind of ruined your swim before you've started. Now, me being me, that's generally how my fishing session goes. Get everything perfect, go to do the first cast with a Spod, and oh man, you make a mistake, right? So this is going to really, really help me to get more bait out accurately in my swim. So you loop, you Spod on, normal way. It's got this big sort of bulky bit at the end, and I guess that's giving it extra strength so it doesn't sort of fall to bits. And when you feel the material, you'll notice just how flexible it is. Another problem with the other ones is that they crack dead easy. This is like impact resistant, and I've literally thrown this at the wall and it's not been damaged, right? I'm not going to do that on this video. So it's a cool Spod. It'll fly real far. It's just, you know, aerodynamic as you like. It's made out of really tough material. It doesn't have loads of clips and springs and different weird stuff going on at the front of it. There's no button at the front, so like you don't get bits of bait and stuff all, you know what I mean, right? So you're filling up your Spod and you get loads of stuff stuck in the front of it, then it doesn't close properly, and you fire it out and it's a disaster. This won't do that because there's not as many moving parts, and when it hits the water, it will open in its entirety and drop your bait like with ease and accuracy. Now, How else will this help you, you may ask? So it looks a bit weird, right? But it does burst open and it will drop all the bait. It does look a little bit alien. This is the Spod for you, and I'm super impressed, right? One of the other benefits of having it open in so many ways is once you're filling it, you only need to open one of the little doors, right? So can you see how much more capacity you get? So imagine if you're filling the usual suspects, right? Half and half. Generally, you can only fill to this line. Otherwise, it starts falling out, and then it's hard to close, and you get stuff in the spring at the front. Such and such, such and such. This one, all you need to do, and you can do this like with one hand, is like open one bay in your Spod, right? You see where I'm going with this? And fill it to this line, which is pretty much the entire capacity of the device. Then it's just a simple magnet to close this thing down. Everything seals, and you're ready to go. Now, the fact that it's magnetic means that it's really good for casting out liquids as well. I don't know if you've seen any of our other videos where we actually spod liquids. That's like an edge in itself. It's great with particles. There's nothing to get stuck. It will open on impact. All 4 bays will open. It will drop all your bait like really effectively, really efficiently. It's not going to like crack off because it's not got a flimsy swivel. This is like robust. The magnets keep it all together nicely. It's easy to fill. You can get a lot more in it. You can fill it with liquids. You can fill it with whatever you want. The little spring-loading mechanism makes sure that it does open on impact, and you are going to be super impressed. So you don't have to pay above the odds for it either. It's competitive priced with all the other Spods on the market, but this one does some stuff that others can't do. The magnets alone are an edge. The fact that you can fill it with more bait than any other Spod on the market means that it will like take less time to get the bait out. So if you think about it, you're putting in probably like twice as much stuff, which is an edge because you don't have to keep hitting the water with a bait rocket, obviously, saving you some time and less disturbance in the swim. So there's only so many things you can talk about a Spod. In this instance, you have got one of the most innovative Spods I've ever seen, and I've seen them all. I've used them all. This one flies better. It delivers the bait better. It's easier to load. It will hold liquids better. There's a lot more advantage of using this than there is of the others on the market. Wolf have cracked it with this device. It's not just been invented, it's been around for a while. It's thoroughly tested. The material alone, the fact that you can bend this thing without snapping it and it just pings back, means that however hard you work this device, it's not going to drop to bits, and you're not going to end up with like broken, cracked. So when it goes cold and you keep cracking, that's not going to happen, right? So you've got an awesome product. It flies, it holds bait, it loads easy. It's got the magnets to ensure that it stays together in flight, but opens when you need it to open, which is kind of important. And it's new. It's funky design. There are other sizes going to be available. This is like the standard. Orange and black is the standard size. There are going to be bigger ones and smaller ones. As soon as we get them, we'll let you know and you can have them. But this is a really exciting product. You guys are going to be super impressed. You're going to be able to go out there and spod to your heart's content, knowing that every time you drop bait, it's going in the right place and it's not being reeled in or like dropped prematurely or too late, if that makes sense to you. This is awesome. Well done to the guys at Wolf. If you've not been able to order one or you can't get them in your shop, there's a link around this video somewhere where you can pick one up from us. We'll stick it in the post to you, get it out to you ASAP. This is the Wolf Spider, available now at Preston Fishing Shop and Carp Global. And if you join our Facebook group, you might even be able to win one. So find our group, it's Carp Global Fishing Group, and have a look at the Wolf Spider on our shop. If you like it and you like this video and you like what you can do with this, just the very fact that you can fill it with more bait in less time should be enough for you guys to think, oh no, I'll get me 2. I've certainly got 2 or 3 in my box. It's well thought out, great bit of kit, easy to get used to, and you're going to love it. Order one now, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.